Today on Tricrow Studios, we're going to take a look at one of my old videos using my brand new hearing aids that I had to see if my precious guitar tone was as precious as I thought it was. So I just want to put one little note out there. This is not a hearing aids review. This is a blind reaction to what my guitar tone is from an older video and how I feel about it now, or what I would change about it, or if I still like it, or how different it is. I have these hearing aids now because my hearing is really bad from being in the military for over 14 years, dealing with communications and gun work and stuff. It has damaged my hearing. So for instance, here's how the video was put out that you guys would have heard. And here's the same video, but more so with the EQ of what I wasn't hearing. So as you can hear, very different. It may not translate to you very well, depending on how your hearing is. It might sound really messed up. But here's my hearing chart. These are the frequencies that I obviously were not hearing properly or leveled as much as they should be. Reading this chart, you're supposed to, at my age, be very close all the way across the board on that number 10. Obviously, as you can see here, that's not the case, so quite a bit of hearing damage that I've had from over the years. So looking at these hearing aids, I don't know if you can even see them. It's very small. They fit over the ear, and then there's a little tiny piece that goes inside the ear. So getting them in and taking them off is really easy. They're Bluetooth compatible. They hook up to your TV. They hook up to your phone. You can listen to music quietly. If you have many things you want to do or just block everything else out, these things will do the job for you. So let's take a closer look at these hearing aids. So looking at what comes with these hearing aids, these are the Phonak Audio PRLs. I have one in my right ear and one in the left ear. They also come with a charger and a charger case Go. The charger case Go, you can charge for about 3 hours, and it will give you about 4 to maybe 5 days worth of charge, depending on how low you get your hearing aids down to. Now for me, I wake up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm wearing these until about 7 o'clock at night when I go to bed. So I get down to between 19% and 30%, but I'm always using the Bluetooth, always listening to music. I'm also, when I do watch TV, I'll hook up the TV connector that comes with it, and this allows me to have the audio from the TV using an optical cable that will go straight in my ears like headphones. It's excellent, and it makes it a lot easier, especially if you're a horror movie buff or whatever and your family doesn't like horror movies, or you don't want the kids seeing that kind of stuff. You can actually put the TV on mute and turn your hearing aids up, and you're the only one that can hear anything in the house, which is excellent. Let's get started. So I'm putting out my 20 distortion pedals video. I haven't heard this video since I've had my hearing aids, so I'm really kind of curious to see how different this sounds compared to what I thought it was going to sound. So I'm going to kind of blindly react to each one as we go through them. So here we go. So that one didn't sound too bad. I still like that sound. It does sound a lot different in the mid to high range there. It's a little bit more, I guess you could say shrill than I actually wanted it to be. It was a lot more lower sounding when I first recorded that. That sounded very artificial. I can honestly say I really didn't like that sound after hearing it back. Yeah, you can also hear almost like some like I said, artificial notes that are kind of just abrasive sounding. So, not a fan of that sound now. So here's the XT2 Distortion, or Xtortion, sorry. I actually like that sound a lot better now that I have the hearing aids compared to what it was before. It was much more brittle sounding before. Now I can actually see myself using that pedal. It actually sounds quite nice, and it's a very different flavor of sound. So moving on to the Supra Distortion. That one sounded pretty good. Your normal, just authentic sounding distortion. That's as much of a distortion sound as you can get for something that's a classic, nice distortion sound. I might dial back the tone just a little bit to get some of that high end out. I think I was trying to overcompensate a little bit. Moving on to the Rocktron Zombie Rectified Distortion. A lot of artificial noise on that one, just like that Swift pedal. Very boomy low end. I know a lot of guys really like that sound. I don't think I realized it was that boomy at the time, but it still sounds alright, but obviously I would want to really tinker around with the high end, the mids, to kind of make it sound better and more pleasing to the ear, and maybe dial back a little bit of that low end. So here's the MXR Prime Distortion. Really like that, the Prime Distortion from MXR. Even before I had the hearing aids, I was really a fan of that pedal. That's an excellent sounding pedal, and I still think it sounds excellent. I think I'm picking up a little bit of just the guitar sound, some of the artificial sounds from frets in the bridge. More so now than I was before. I could really hear it in that sound sample there too. I would probably want to mess around a little bit with the tone knob there just to kind of clean that up a bit. So moving on to the Super Feedbacker and Distortion. I think I felt that one before was a lot more balanced than it is now. It's kind of in the very higher ranges. From listening to it here, I would definitely dial back that tone a little bit more, and possibly the gain and distortion just to clean that up a bit so it's not overly abrasive. But it wasn't a bad sound. Definitely sensing some high mid clunkiness there. Definitely dialed back the mids. a bit on that. Doesn't sound half as aggressive and low as it did before. Very classic sounding distortion. I don't think I'd change too much about that. Maybe dial back some of that high end, but overall to me that still sounded pretty good. Maybe tinker a little bit with the tone, but that didn't sound too far off from what I believe I had without the hearing aids. Very generic sounding distortion pedal. I don't think that one sounded much different than what I envisioned it sounding without the hearing aids. But overall, it didn't sound like a bad sound. This one pedal here, I'd be surprised if it sounds good now to my ears, but let's give it a go. Doesn't sound good, but doesn't sound bad. It's definitely usable, but you definitely need to tinker around with the tone knob a bit to kind of find the sweet spot. So the T-bone distortion, that was something I always loved the sound of this pedal, so I'll be pretty upset if I don't like this now, but let's give it a listen. Definitely hearing some top end frequencies that I definitely didn't hear before. That sounded much more fuller, more bassier before, a lot more tamed mid-range. That one actually kind of shocked me. I thought I was going to like that pedal still, but yeah, I would definitely have to mess around a little bit with that one. I used to love that pedal. Alright, moving on, DS7. That sounded really good to me. I wouldn't change too much on that one. A lot of these 3-knob pedals, I think I kind of captured what I wanted out of the tones that were available in the pedal. But then when we get into some of these other eccentric pedals that you are really fine-tuning and dialing in stuff, I think that's where I'm kind of lost before with the sound, with the mids and the highs. So. Moving on now, we're going to look at the Twinote Boogie Distortion. Gotta honestly say, there was nothing about that I liked. I would definitely have to take that back to the drawing board and really kind of fine-tune that pedal. There was no redeeming qualities in that for me at all. I would definitely want to mess around with the tone again. This one here, everybody seemed to like it that was listening to this video, so let's hear what everybody else was hearing, I guess. That to me was as perfect of a guitar tone that I would expect from that pedal. I would definitely plug that on my board and definitely keep that on my board. That sounded fantastic to me. It had all the notes and the frequencies right in the pocket, so that one was definitely a winner out of all these pedals so far. So let's look at the turbo distortion. I'm actually hearing a lot more percussive sounds from that pedal, which kind of really, I like that because of the styles of music that I play. I like to play a little bit more percussively, and that was really, really cool. Alright, moving on to the Sandstorm Distortion from Caline. I remember that one being specifically very, very dark sounding. So hearing it, all of these high ranges in high mids kind of shocks me. But overall it sounded pretty decent. Moving on to the new X or Nux high gain. Wow. Okay, so very different, very, very different sounds than I thought I produced in this video. Quite a few of them kind of, I could tell where I would want to adjust them. There was the one Mesa Boogie clone pedal from Twinote that I would definitely redo all the settings on that one. That one doesn't sound good to me at all. Some of them actually sound way better than what I thought they had sounded, and mostly it was just small little tweaks here and there. But overall, it kind of shows me now how different of a perspective you can get from a tone or a sound, especially with distortion. With regards to distortion pedal in people's ears and how they hear things and what frequencies are cut out, what needs to be amplified at certain frequencies for them to sound better, which goes back to tone is absolutely subjective to the listener. Not everybody is going to find that one pedal that everybody loves and loves the sound of, and everybody, oh, that's the guitar tone everybody should use. There's no just one guitar tone. I didn't think that my hearing was this bad, but now after listening to everything the way it's supposed to be heard, it's kind of shocking to me. But having these hearing aids is definitely rewarding to me, so I'm very glad that I ended up getting them. But if you can take anything from this video, you might not hear what other people hear. So if somebody really likes a guitar tone or an amplifier, but you find it's fizzy or it's a little bit on the messier end, or it's too much low end or too much high end, or oh, you don't like the mids, it's absolutely subjective to you. Don't go out and buy something and then try to get solidification for that purchase. If you like something and it inspires you, go out and buy that product. So I think we're at the end of the video here, so I hope you guys kind of got a good laugh out of this video or enjoyed it somewhat. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Kevin of Tricrow Studios. Take care.